Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here with your Monday Night Raw review on Monday, August 2nd, 2021. Hope you guys are having a good Monday night. Hope everything went good. We had Raw tonight, obviously. That's why we're here to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. And the main focus going into tonight's show was the crowd. Not even anything taking place on the show. What's going to happen on the build to SummerSlam. What's going to happen with Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. What's going to happen with the Raw Women's title. What's going to happen with RK Bro. That was not the main thing going into the show. The top thing going into the show tonight was how was the Chicago crowd going to be on tonight's show, knowing that they are the top wrestling market in the world right now. And that's a fact. They sold out tonight's Monday Night Raw at the Allstate Arena. 12,000 plus people bought tickets for tonight's Raw at the Allstate Arena. They sold out the United Center for AEW Rampage. Going to talk more about that on Wednesday's Dynamite review with Leslie Williams. I don't really want to talk about that tonight, although it's a huge accomplishment. Them selling out a 20,000 plus arena for a 1 hour television show with a tease from Darby Allin that CM Punk is going to be there. We're going to talk more about that on Wednesday. And plus, they also sold out AEW's All Out pay-per-view. So they are the best market in professional wrestling right now. And how were they gonna be a rowdy crowd? Oh, they were rowdy, all right. They were dead for most of the night, to be perfectly honest with you. But for the beginning of the show, the first hour, they were pretty damn good. We had a lot of CM Punk, which is expected in Chicago, and the fact that he's more than likely going to be showing up in AEW. We got a lot of CM Punk chants tonight. And we got a lot of "We Want Wyatt" chants 2 days after Bray Wyatt was released from WWE. This came to bite them on the ass. That Chicago crowd is not stupid. They are going to voice their opinions. They are going to make you hear them in Chicago with the CM Punk and "We Want Wyatt" chants. And they did good tonight. Did that Chicago crowd for a show that, in my opinion, WWE put really no effort into. You look at the show tonight, 50-50 booking all and up to down the show. Last week, we saw 3 matches that took place on tonight's show. So last week, very quickly, before we dive into tonight's show, we saw Mason TBar versus Mustafa Ali and Mansoor last week in Kansas City. Last week, Ali and Mansoor won the tag team match. This week, in his own town, he got a pretty nice ovation. Ali and Mansoor lose. That is the first 50-50 booking tonight. In the third hour, we saw Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for a second week in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Why are we doing this? I have no idea, especially with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. No clue whatsoever. Last week, your NXT champion got the win over Keith Lee to make Keith Lee take another loss. This week, I tweeted out before the match, watch Keith Lee win, get his win back over Kross, and we'll have 50-50 booking right over again. What I said was true. Keith Lee goes over, and we get another 50-50 booking scenario. Nobody gets over. Karrion Kross gets a pin clean. He gets cleaned. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. He gets pinned clean, and this makes him look like an absolute bum going into his NXT title match with Samoa Joe, which he is inevitably going to lose. And then in the main event, last week, we saw Charlotte beat Nikki Nikki Ash in the main event last week. This week, they have a no-holds-barred match. They said a no-holds-barred championship contenders match. So, hold on a second. This is so confusing because last week, Charlotte was announced for a match against a title match at SummerSlam. So, they have a championship contender match last week. Charlotte won. Why do we need to have another championship contender match this week when A, Charlotte beat Nikki last week, and 2, she's already got herself a title match in Las Vegas? Or am I just losing my mind for no reason over here? I don't know what it is, but clearly this is stupid booking. And we'll talk about the show tonight. Thank you guys for joining me here on the channel. I'll say it at the end of the show again, but I'll say it again here, and I'll probably say it a couple more times throughout the week. I'm going to be at Raw next week, live in Orlando, Florida at the Amway Center. I will be vlogging. I don't know how much of you are going to go to Monday Night Raw and spend your money there, but if you're going to be there from the Orlando area next week and you happen to run into me, come say what's up. I'll get you in the vlog. We can have a nice chat and all that stuff. It'll be my 19th birthday. Hopefully they put on at least a decent show. That's all I'm asking for next week in Orlando is a decent show. That's all I want. Hope we get it, but I'm going to be at Raw next week. I will be vlogging. There will not be a Raw review next week. Vlog is more than likely going to be up Tuesday or Tuesday night, depending when my flight leaves. I have no idea. But there's going to be a vlog next week, and there will not be a Raw review. But be sure to subscribe for that. And if you have not already, be sure to go check out some videos last week. We got the AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen review. We got SmackDown, where John Cena and Roman Reigns is official for SummerSlam. And we got the emergency video of Bray Wyatt getting released from WWE. And how stupid this makes WWE look. And they cut him because of budget cuts. And with Bray Wyatt, I don't find that to be believable for a second. I think that is absolute bullshit. That they cutted Bray Wyatt because of budget cuts. And did releasing Bray Wyatt come to bite them in the ass tonight, let me tell you. So go ahead and check those out. And we might as well get started with this review here. We're going to get started. Before I start, I missed a little bit of the opening show. I had to drive down here because I got work this week until Friday, so I missed 10 minutes of the show. But as I turned on the show, Bobby Lashley and Goldberg was in the ring. Apparently there were loud "We Want Wyatt" chants during Goldberg's promo. Love it. Thank you, Chicago. Especially during when Goldberg's out there, considering what happened in Saudi Arabia. The end of the Fiend. That was the end of the Fiend in Saudi Arabia in 2020. So Goldberg was talking about his age, and it doesn't matter what his age is. He can be 35, 45, 105. He is still Goldberg. The crowd was booing, rightfully so. And he says, "The spear is what brung me in. And at SummerSlam, the spear is what's going to bring you out. And at SummerSlam, I'm next. And then when Goldberg leaves, Bobby Lashley gets in the face of his son, who's on the outside, who really does look like Hook. It's pretty incredible, the transformation of Goldberg's son the past 5 years. Apparently he's 16 years old, I think, compared to 5 years ago at SummerSlam when he was only 11 years old. Small, little chubby kid. Now he looks big. He looks big. He's probably in great shape. And he looks like Hook. I'm going to be totally honest with you. He looks like Taz's son, Hook. So MVP gets in his face. He's trying to talk trash to him. And Goldberg gives him a spear. Goldberg spears him. And that's basically the segment. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley is announced for SummerSlam. Great. I can't wait to see Goldberg go into Las Vegas, get a $2 million paycheck for a 2-minute match against Bobby Lashley. It'll probably be a spear from Goldberg, a spear from Lashley, another spear from Goldberg, another spear from Goldberg, a half-ass jackhammer, and then Goldberg first goes for another spear. Bobby Lashley puts him in the hurt lock, and Bobby Lashley wins. That's probably what's going to happen. 2 minutes, and Goldberg will get $2 million because of it. So there you go. That's your SummerSlam WWE Championship match. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Drew McIntyre in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Veer and Shanky. Chicago could not give a single shit about this, as there were loud CM Punk chants ringing throughout the Allstate Arena through this match. Drew McIntyre was about to hit a Claymore kick until Jinder Mahal came in the ring, hit him with a steel chair. Then all three guys grabbed the steel chair. Drew McIntyre was in a 3-on-1 battle, and he grabs the sword. There's Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky all run away like a bunch of bitches. There's actually rumors going around that Jinder Mahal wants to have a Punjabi prison match with Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. I pray to God that does not happen. Number one, who obviously cares about a Drew McIntyre Jinder Mahal match at SummerSlam, and there's no story, there's no care going into it. And we saw the last Punjabi prison match. I was there, and for more than half the thing, I could not see almost a single thing that happened in the ring, and it turned out to be a failure. So I don't want to see that match. I don't want to see a Punjabi prison match ever again in WWE. And I'm going to be quite angry if we get one at SummerSlam. Do I think we get one? I don't think so. The feud does not call for it, so I could be totally wrong, but we'll see. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Rhea Ripley wins in 11 minutes. Nia Jax was busted open on her right side of the face almost the entire match. Nia Jax asks Shayna Baszler for help. Shayna refuses to help Nia. Rhea Ripley then rolls up Nia Jax, and Rhea wins. After the match, Nia and Shayna are arguing. The crowd is chanting heavily for Shayna. Shayna walks out of the ring and leaves Nia Jax. The crowd boos. Rhea Ripley comes up from behind Nia Jax, and she gives her the Riptide. And that got a loud ovation for Rhea Ripley. So There you go. They're just giving Rhea Ripley. They're just giving her a win, I guess, going into SummerSlam. Mason TBar versus Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. We talked about this in the beginning. Last week in Kansas City, Ali and Mansoor got the win against Mason TBar. This week, Ali comes out to a good ovation because he's from Chicago. He came into this match as the hometown guy. And you know what happens in WWE when you have a wrestler that is wrestling in their hometown. What happens? They take the L. I absolutely hate it. I hate it when a wrestler who is wrestling in their hometown, whether it's on a house show, a television show, a pay-per-view, I absolutely hate it when they lose. And WWE loves, for whatever odd reason, they love having wrestlers from their hometown, in their hometown, lose. I do not get it whatsoever. It happened with Keith Lee a couple weeks ago on Raw. It happened tonight with Mustafa Ali. And it seems like with only 4 weeks of AEW going back on the road, they've had Lance Archer, who's from Texas. He won the IWGP United States Championship. And even though not a lot of people are talking about it, FTR had a match against Santana and Ortiz at Fight for the Fallen. And even though it got ended early because of Cash Wheeler's injury, FTR still got the win over Santana and Ortiz in their hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where they're from. That's where they grew up in, North Carolina. So, FTR won in their hometown last week. So, I find it funny how in a span of a few weeks when AEW goes back on the road, when these two companies go back on the road, when AEW has wrestlers wrestling in their hometown, they win. What a coincidence. It makes sense. Win in your hometown, get the big ovation. In WWE, nope. You're going to take the L. You're going to look like a bum doing it too. And then Ali gets the cherry on top of this diarrhea Sunday. Ali gets laid out after the match, and there's booze in the Chicago arena. This was bad. This was bad right here. Mason TBar don't have a lot of value. With those names, I don't know why they're not Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden. Retribution's done. Retribution's been over since March, February. It's been a very long time. And they're still running with the names Mason TBar. I don't get it. They're never going to get over with those names, and they're never going to be taken serious with those names. It's ridiculous. They have no value. They have no value in what's to be a dead tag division on Monday Night Raw. Speaking of dead, Tamina Snuka versus Doudrop. This match almost literally put me to sleep. Literally put me to sleep. If you guys expect me to care, invest my time, interest in this match, you must be mistaken. I'm lucky I didn't fall asleep during this match, and I couldn't tell you a thing that happened. My face was in my phone on Twitter. I was on Twitter the entire match, basically. Tamina won. And then after the match, Alexa Bliss was on the Titantron. And she said the loser of this match, Eva Marie. I mean, this feud's horrible. This feud is absolutely horrible. And then later in the night, Alexa Bliss is on an Alexa playground, and she gets shoved off the swing by Doudrop. Lily goes flying, and Eva Marie comes over, and she's talking to the doll. And then they pan in on the doll, and she sits up and starts laughing. Like, how horrible is that? They gave... That's what Alistair... I feel like at a little bit, too, that's a shot at Malachi Black. Because that's what Malachi Black used to do all the time in his entrance, was sit up from the rafters. And they gave it to a freaking doll. How pathetic is that, bro? That is absolutely pathetic. But anyway, Tamina beat Doudrop. Do you honestly care? I mean, probably not. Probably not. Miz TV. We got a Miz TV segment with Damien Priest. And we got a back and forth between Priest, Miz, and Morrison. This sets up a one-on-one match between Damien Priest and John Morrison. Priest gets the win in about 8 minutes with the final reckoning. And then after the match, Sheamus, the United States Champion, Sheamus comes out to attack Priest. Ricochet goes for the save. And we have ourselves a tag team match. So, if the end game was always going to be a tag team match with Damien Priest teaming with Ricochet against Sheamus and Morrison, why did we need a singles match between Damien Priest and Morrison and then the tag team match? I mean, obviously I know why. It's because they were trying to kill 30 minutes of television time, and it just makes no sense. And John Morrison took a second pin in 2 matches. He got pinned twice by Damien Priest tonight. So, there you go. That's all I got to say about that. I am pretty sure we'll get another match between Damien Priest and Sheamus next week, and then we'll get the title match at SummerSlam. That's what I think is going to happen. Hour 3 started off with Matt Riddle and Omos. Matt Riddle probably got the biggest pop of the entire night, outside of the We Want Wyatt and CM Punk chants. Matt Riddle probably got the biggest ovation. Omos did not come out with AJ Styles. AJ Styles was not even on tonight's show. I don't know why, but Omos is not over on his own. Omos came out to a dead reaction. Nobody reacted when this guy came out without AJ Styles. So he's over with AJ Styles. So what does that say when eventually Omos and AJ Styles are going to split up? He's screwed. I'm telling you right now, he's screwed. If tonight gave you an indication, you might want to keep him longer with AJ Styles. I mean, AJ should be in the main event scene, but I don't know how this guy is going to do by himself. I really don't. So, we'll have to see. But he squashes Matt Riddle in 3 minutes with a 2-handed choke slam. We got no AJ. We got no Randy Orton tonight. So, is Randy going to return next week in Orlando? I don't know. It'd actually be a pretty cool moment for me to see. Randy Orton comes out while Riddle's getting ambushed 2-on-1 by AJ and Omos. Orton comes out for the save, and boom. Tag team title match at SummerSlam. So that would be a pretty cool moment, actually, to happen next week. So we'll see if that happens, but almost squashed Matt Riddle about 3 minutes tonight. Keith Lee against Karrion Kross for the second week in a row. 2 weeks in a row, we've seen Kross and Keith Lee again. This is a lose situation because these are two guys that should not be in this situation. Keith Lee should be one of your top projects on Monday Night Raw, who you should be pushing right now, and Karrion Kross is your NXT champion. And it's ridiculous that the NXT champion is in 50-50 booking scenarios. But, Vince McMahon and Bruce, they don't give a shit about NXT, so they don't care. Keith Lee escapes from the Kross jacket. He sets up Kross for the Spirit Bomb, and Keith Lee wins in 9 minutes. Wouldn't be shocked if we get this match for a third time next week on Monday Night Raw. Keith Lee wins. The NXT champion loses for a second time in 3 weeks. And now Karrion Kross looks like an absolute bum going into his NXT title match at NXT TakeOver 36 against Samoa Joe. And it is more than likely that Samoa Joe is going to win the NXT championship next week. Reginald came out to defend the title against Akira Tozawa, 24/7 title. Reginald wins. No comment. No comment. Main event, Nikki Ash against Charlotte Flair. The crowd could not care about this match. I did not care about this match. They used 2 tables. This was a no-holds-barred match, and they used 2 tables. That's it. So this was a simple, boring, formulaic, no DQ match, basically. Nikki got speared into the barricade. Nikki got powerbombed through the announce table. Charlotte ran herself through a table, and Nikki won. So that's for a third time we get 50-50 booking on this show. And how do you expect anybody to get over when you're constantly doing 50-50 booking, where one guy wins this week and the other wins the other week? How do you expect anybody to get over? How do you expect anybody to be taken serious by the crowd? It's just terrible. I hope to get a decent show next week, but I'll be there for you guys, vlogging from the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, on my birthday, and I'll have a good time. So we're going to have that vlog next Monday. Thank you guys for joining me tonight on the Raw review. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get 420 subscribers before I head out to Orlando this weekend. I'm also getting ready for college. So I'm in the process of moving down to Orlando, Florida. So in the future, in a couple weeks, by after SummerSlam weekend, I will probably be in a new capacity, in a new home in Orlando, Florida, and we will be doing content from Orlando, Florida for the foreseeable future, as far as I'm concerned. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. We got NXT, AEW, SmackDown, and I might do a news video from Orlando this weekend. I'll have to see. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's Raw show. leave a comment down below. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me in tonight's review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin_Joseph. And guys, I will see you for the NXT review tomorrow night here on the channel. Cameron Johnson is back. The NXT champion looks like a bum tonight. It makes it not important, but I'll be here to cover it anyway. You guys have a good night. Stay safe, and as always, man, stay classy. And I'll see you tomorrow night for the NXT review here on the channel.